Okay, Assalaamu alaikum and hello everybody. I hope you're all doing really well. So for today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different. This is my first actual collab. I've collabed with my husband, which I don't think it counts, or online collabs where I'm not actually sat with someone. So today we're going to talk to Sundas, and you're like, who is Sundas? Yeah. So Sundas is a lovely lady. I'll tell you how I met her.
A random person she met on the street.
Kind of, yeah.
Right? A random fan, I should say. A fan.
No, she's not a fan.
I am. I am? Oh my gosh, how did I recognise you? It's because of my fan?
We met in the park, right? Yeah. Either you'll find me in the park, Poundland, Asda. She found me in the park. Yeah. And we had a little chat, and she does YouTube as well. I thought it'd be interesting to get her on because she's got a different perspective on life.
On everything.
Yeah, exactly. And we want people like that. I think it's really important as a Pakistani woman to talk about the topics you're talking about. I was like, okay, this is something that, you won't see Pakistani women talking about being single when you're older. Everyone's really conservative, aren't they? And they're scared to talk and honour and all of these things. So I thought it'd be really interesting for her to come on this channel, and there'll be other people who can relate to her. I'm sure there's people who relate to me, but not everyone is a mom of 7. Some people are single and they're looking for partners at an older age. There's a range of us, isn't there, Muslim women, and we don't all fit into one box. So I'm looking forward to hearing what Sundas is going to say, and we're going to talk about her YouTube fame and how she got the attention of the manosphere.
I'm not famous.
She is
amongst... Some videos are, but I am not.
Amongst the Andrew Tate types, right?
Oh my gosh, I know.
I said to her that my audience are going to be a lot more friendly than them guys, but they've been alright with you, haven't they? They've been
Shamsa's literally come to the rescue here.
Yeah. So you guys are going to be nice.
Simple woman.
You guys are going to be nice, and you're going to, inshallah, subscribe to her channel. She's going to put more content up.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. She was questioning whether to carry on, but she is going to.
No, I will, inshallah.
And now we're going to be talking about, she's been to Jordan, doing lots of humanitarian work, and I can't wait to hear about it. We're going to chat to you. I'm going to let Sundas do most of the talking. I know I've talked a lot, but...
No.
But I'm going to ask you
too.
I think the audience has heard way too much about me. This is something I'd love to do more of. Just talk to loads of different women, because there's a lot of women out there who've got different experiences. But go on, Sundas, tell us a bit about yourself if you want to, or whatever you want to talk about.
Absolutely. So I think we can talk about various topics, but you touched on Jordan. I know you want to hear about Jordan as well. So let's talk about that. So recently I volunteered with Action for Humanity, which is a registered charity in the UK, and it was previously Syria Relief, so I think a lot of you might have heard of that. And this charity has bases and offices at various places around the world, and they help people in need in countries like Jordan, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Turkey, and they've helped many Palestinians. So I went with them in September on a deployment just to help these Palestinians and Syrian refugees that had fled from wars in Syria and Palestine. So it was a really amazing trip, and I was really looking forward to it. I thought it would be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I had an opportunity before to go with MAP, but at the time my parents didn't feel comfortable about me going.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So I didn't go. And then this time round, I just thought it was the right timing. So and I took my mum with me too, so I thought she won't panic.
I didn't know your mum. I thought it was just you. So just you and your mum. And did you go with the group?
Yeah, so actually it was quite a big group because we signed up for the Lebanon one.
Oh,
my mum and I, we signed up for that one.
Was this before the war started? I know, had the war in Lebanon just started?
So a lot of these deployments are one after the other, back to back.
Oh, okay.
So the Lebanon one was about, I think, 2 weeks before the Jordan one was due.
Right, okay.
But then obviously with the sort of attacks looming in Lebanon, we weren't too sure whether it would be safe or not. Then I had a chat with my brother, and he was saying that because my dad, passed away last year, so he was feeling really uncomfortable with us going somewhere where we could, our lives could be at risk. So we had a chat with him, and he said he dissuaded us. And he said,
that's understandable.
So I said, okay, let's come to a compromise. How about we go to Jordan instead, because the risk is far less.
Of course, you don't.
So then he said, okay, that's fine. And he's been to Jordan as well many times.
Oh, okay.
Because he's got friends there. So he was like, yeah, I'm comfortable with you going to Jordan. So
so
then we ended up going to Jordan. But then there were other people who were also meant to be deployed to Lebanon, so they joined our group as well. Because in the end, the Lebanon deployment got cancelled.
I can understand that.
So then those people came with us. So then we ended up with the biggest group that they've ever had on a deployment.
How many of you was there?
So in total there were 13 of us.
Okay.
But 10 of us were volunteers, and then 3 were employees. of Action for Humanity.
Okay, so they were looking after you.
Yeah, they looked after us.
How long did you go for in total? Was it 2 weeks then?
So actually I was in Jordan for 2.5 weeks.
Right.
So the 4 days at the beginning, they were arranged by the charity.
Okay.
And then my mum and I just decided, since we're in Jordan, let's just extend our trip. So then we booked our own like hotels and excursions and everything for the remaining time that we were there.
Okay. That makes sense, yeah. So what did you do then? So when you got there, what was your task?
So the main focus of this was to do like needs assessments and to hear the stories, but also we gave out money. So it was a bunch of things, and we prepared gifts.
Lots of people from Gaza?
So we went to 2 camps actually. On the first day, we went to a centre, it's called PTI Centre. Okay. And not the PTI associated with Pakistan.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely, sure. So it comes something completely apolitical. So it was a PTI Centre, and over there they bring refugees. So they brought refugees from different camps all together to this centre to come and meet with us. So we went into this room and they were like already sitting around the tables. And then they kind of divided the group up so that there was one person, like one volunteer on each table. And then they gave us an interpreter who speaks Arabic. And
do you speak any Arabic, by the way?
I've started learning.
Oh, well, if you do more of these, if you do more of these, you're going to have to learn.
Yeah, so I've got a spoken Arabic class this evening. So I actually started. It's amazing, alhamdulillah, how sometimes things just line up in life. This opportunity, I was thinking when I came back, I was like, you know what? Okay, I've been to like 4 different Arab countries now, and every time I'm there, I feel like I'm missing out, and I'm like, I should know Arabic.
It's a little bit, at least.
Especially as a Muslim,
go there. As a Muslim,
you feel kind of guilty. You're like, well, you should actually know, because obviously the Quran's in Arabic, and then when they do khutbahs and things, and you join them, you go to the masjid, you don't understand anything. You're just like, okay, this is just a shame, really. Like, I'm well educated. I've studied so hard. I don't know Arabic. It's like a basic thing.
Something that you could pick up.
So I came back, so I came back and I was like, you know what? I need to do something about this. So then I just started watching videos on YouTube. There's one called Asmae. I don't know how you pronounce the name. Asmae.
I've not heard
Asmae. And she's quite new. She's only had a channel for like 8 months.
And she teaches Arabic.
And she's got like almost 1 million subscribers.
Oh, wow.
She's very good. She's very good.
So like basic lessons?
She's got like in for different for different languages, but she's got one for Arabic, and then she does different courses in that. So she does one like spoken, basic spoken Arabic
that's
series.
Nice.
So she has a series just for that. And then she's got a series for like other things in Arabic.
So you just kind of doing the Arabic.
So then I started the spoken Arabic one.
That's good,
And I finished her course, I think they're like 11 lessons. And then I was like, but it'd really help if I could like speak to somebody in person and also ask questions. And then, subhanAllah, like, 2 days after having that thought, I saw this class, and it was with Manchester University, which I was with. I was at that university for a long time. I was like, can I join as an alumni? Because obviously I've graduated a long time ago. I wasn't sure, but then I went on their website, and then it said public or student, so I was able to select public and then join their classes.
Alhamdulillah, that worked out, didn't it? You manifested it.
I know, manifestation.
No, I'm not a fan of that. I know.
It's all linked. It's all linked.
Yeah, I know, but some people take it too far, don't they? They really put it.
I think some people.
Universe.
I think the time when it's taken too far, we're like really going off in different times.
We'll get back.
We'll circle back. Don't worry. Just be patient with us.
Women in general.
So anyway, on manifestation, the only time I think it goes too far is when people are. When they take Allah out of the equation.
Definitely.
Like when they start having that tawakkul, when they start thinking that everything's in their own control. To some extent, obviously Allah tells us that yes, we have control over our lives and our choices and our striving to do good. Like we have to take those matters into our own hands. But there is a fine line, really.
Of course, you're right, so, definitely, I agree. So anyway, let's try and get back on track then.
To Jordan.
So did you meet, like,
the refugees
and the kids in Gaza, like so many videos of orphans. I was watching one recently, like I've seen one on Instagram, someone visiting his mum's grave in the cemetery, go at night and spend time there because obviously he misses his mum. And did you meet many orphans or?
Yeah, the stories you hear are absolutely awful.
Horrendous, isn't it?
Orphans, I'm not sure. I didn't meet orphans, but that was because because we didn't have a focus on orphans. So I think they have an orphan. They told us they have an orphan
I'd just
project.
Be crying the whole time anyway.
Yeah, they told us. I did actually break down on one day because I met this father. So we went to that first day we were in PTI Centre where we met these refugees, and even that was very upsetting, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I felt that at the time I just felt that rather than making everybody live through their traumas, like I got a glimpse, people were just sharing
how is
them.
it? What's the atmosphere like? Obviously we live here and it's so different. We see everything on social media, on the news, you see that one-sided bias, but like what is it when you're actually there?
They are people with a lot of dignity.
Yeah.
They have self-respect to a whole new level. When you look at them, you think they are very educated people. This one person who's sitting on my table, I thought he was a professor.
Really?
Just the way he carried himself, and I've been in academia for a long time, so and if he was sitting amongst professors, I would have thought he's a professor.
Really?
Just the way he carried himself, the way he spoke, he was intelligent, like he thought before he spoke. And I was just thinking, wow, like how is he a refugee? I would never identify in my mind him with being a refugee.
Like he's in that situation.
But they talk about their stories, and their stories are absolutely horrifying. Like one of the ladies on my table, she's a parent, and she was talking about how her son, he's a little child, was so traumatized by what he saw, with the constant missiles falling. He was so afraid that he started to get problems with urination. Like his bodily systems were not working properly anymore. Then he had to get. Then once they came to Jordan, that's when they sought some medical care, and because they weren't hearing those sounds anymore, then he slowly recovered and things went back to normal. But quite a few of the children that I met, and then also the parents had lots of horrifying stories of injured family members. All of them had stories about people in their family that had died.
Oh yeah,
all of
they're
them.
killing so many.
The time that I broke down was when I went to the Zaatari camp. So the Zaatari camp is a few kilometers away from Syria.
Okay.
And that one is where the Syrian refugees have fled to.
Okay, so there was a lot of Syrians.
That one's the Syrian refugee camp.
Okay.
Then the Gaza camp is where the Palestinians have come.
Oh, right.
Yeah, since the 1960s they settled in that camp.
Oh, so they've got like an established kind of place there.
Yeah, that's an established place. But having said that, the housing conditions that they live in are extremely poor. So like the roofs are like flat steel.
Oh, like you'd have on like a shed,
plates.
maybe.
Yeah, like a shed, but worse than that, because
like
they're not like proper fixtures. I took some photos and videos of that. So it's not like a proper. So there's like holes. There's like open holes, and the houses are not closed.
Is it like almost like an advanced tent? Like
it's kind of like a tent, not even an advanced tent.
Really?
It's like a basic tent.
Basic tent. That's really sad.
So in the winter they really struggle because obviously when it gets colder, then they don't have anything to shelter them from the natural environment.
Was it cold when you went actually?
No, when I went it was hot. But in the winter it gets cold.
Yes.
They were saying in the
they're
winter
nearly
it gets
in winter
cold.
now, aren't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so the place that they live in is not great. And
no.
Okay, so just what did you go and see their daily life and stuff? And
yeah, so it was a mixture of different activities. We sat with them first and listened to their stories, had lunch with them, which was lovely. I loved having lunch with them. That was really nice because the food as well, it was like traditional Palestinian local food. Having like maklube, kanafa, like their national food. And then that was really nice. And you just feel like, you're all in the same level, sitting together eating, because we are, like, as Muslims, we don't believe that we are, there's no like status differences, there's no hierarchy, and we didn't want that, and I wouldn't want that. I want them to feel that we are on like them, that we're on the same level, we're on the same wavelength, we understand their pain, their sufferings, we don't want it. Like one of them actually said to me that you do realise you're from a country that's kind of led us to this situation.
I was going to say, how did they receive you?
No, they did.
It's really
and
sad.
I just said that, yes, I know that this is a situation, but just know that, not all of us agree. Most of us don't agree with what has happened, what is happening. It's war crimes, it's internationally illegal.
No one seems to be able to stop them.
Can't stop it. Unfortunately, these criminals are in charge, and we're trying. Like, we're raising awareness. Even doing this video is raising awareness.
Of course it is. Definitely.
Actually figure out ways, because sometimes it's just about bringing people together, connecting people with other people. This is not limited to just refugee work. Even people in your everyday life, your friends, your family, people in the community. You learn how to recognize their sufferings. You learn how to figure out how to help them. and how to be there for them, how to be present.
Because you've had your personal struggles with your dad as well, so you can probably understand that
even more than others. Absolutely. I mean, I was really blessed, alhamdulillah, that I had a good support system.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's another whole story because there were definitely some things at the time that I felt like I need to speak about this publicly as well. Yeah. With regards to my dad and like my whole experience with the NHS and like how my dad was looked after and how like the negligence, and there were so many things on that.
Do you want to just say what happened to your dad, because they'd be confused? So just
so my dad. If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine. I've spoken about it on my channel. Yeah. So my dad sadly had brain cancer last year, and unfortunately he didn't make it, so he's not around anymore. But you know, at the time that he suffered through this anguish and this trauma of having the brain cancer, because you know, having a big lump in your head is not easy. Of course, and then he was sort of pushed into having a surgery which didn't help him and just gave him unnecessary pain, and then after that he was put in palliative care direction. So
is this like the experience you've had with the NHS that's been quite negative? You wanted to
because not because the medical teams themselves are particularly, as I say, they're ignorant of a whole side of medicine that would be very helpful in times like this.
So they need more training in
their guidelines. It's not their training, it's like their guidelines and their training currently is very limited. Because like, for example, when it comes to alternative medical practices like herbs or acupuncture, other things that could help. More naturopathy, dietary, nutrition.
You're quite into that stuff, aren't
I am because I see the power of it. I'm healed myself.
If you're interested in those kind of topics, definitely go to her channel and
inshallah, I will talk more, inshallah. I want to. It's like I want it to be a whole series though, because there is so much.
You have to plan for it, don't you? You're quite busy, aren't you?
Yeah, I really want to talk about these topics because they're very important, and I've seen the impact that these, because people think, oh, it's a remedy, it's a home remedy, but no, it's not. It's like you can actually get cured by doing these things.
Be interested.
You can get cured. Definitely. And I've seen so many different conditions, because when I was looking after my dad and I was treating him, because at the time when he had this cancer, they at one point they put their hands up, they're like, we can't do anything more. So I was like, okay, you just can't do anything, so I'm gonna now take over and I'm gonna look after him. And I did, and there were things that I did that. So his diabetes went away.
Really?
He had a thyroid problem that went away.
Wow.
He had so many conditions.
He had
problems with his gallbladder, so they were saying that he needs a gallbladder surgery, and that issue went away.
So you managed to help him with those? Those are like
they were saying he needed a pacemaker because his heart rhythm, like his heart rate was not right, and that issue went away.
Wow.
So like there were so many major issues, and I wrote a whole list of conditions that alhamdulillah were treated and cured just by doing these other things.
Well done for those, but it was a short time, wasn't it? So if you learned
if I had a bit more time and if I had a bit more freedom, because you know, at the time I didn't have power of attorney either. So I was quite limited. I was quite limited because if I was doing things that, like, I was using, I have equipment that, like, for energy medicine that they don't understand. They're like, what is this? I was giving herbs that they don't even recognise. They're like, what is this? Like vitamins, so they vitamins, they don't even know what vitamin was. Vitamins, how they help. They didn't know.
Really? So you were teaching them? If you should have given them classes. So what's your studies in? I know you've done a PhD, right?
Yeah. So I've done. I've got 3 degrees from Manchester Uni. So I did biomedical science. I don't know what I was thinking.
It's fun.
No, I didn't.
Studying is really fun, honestly.
That's a very funny story, because I didn't want to do any of them.
But
it's really funny.
You thought going
like it was good though, honestly.
Oh really?
There's a quite miraculous story behind each one.
Okay.
But I wasn't intending to do any.
Really?
I didn't enjoy studying.
So you weren't planning on doing any degree, or you were going to choose something else?
No, all my friends were studying medicine.
Right. Okay.
So at school, so in school I wanted to be a scientist.
Right.
But all my friends wanted to study medicine.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'll apply for medicine because I don't want to be on my own. I was very influenced by my friends.
I think everyone is at that age.
Yeah, like I dropped physics at A level. I did physics at AS, and then I dropped at A2 because my friends weren't doing it.
Really?
Even though I enjoy physics.
Where are your friends now?
I know.
That's what parents would say. Where are your friends now?
No. I love physics. I should have carried it on.
Pick it up now. Come on.
No,
you won't have
too
the
late
time
now. Too late now. But
physics is really hard. But you've got the brain for it.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I just loved figuring things out. Like it was like there were so many puzzles and you have to like figure them out. So I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. So you did biomedical sciences. Then what did you do?
Then I did a master's in tissue engineering for regenerative medicine.
Oh, wow. Okay, that sounds.
And then I stayed in. So there were like 2 lab placements.
Was it all in the University of Manchester?
Yeah.
Did they get sick of you by the end of it?
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Like, can you just go now, please?
Yeah.
That's enough studying.
Yeah, they did get sick of me.
Yeah.
So in the second placement where I was for my master's, I ended up staying in that lab for my PhD.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even know what a PhD was. You know when I was doing my master's.
Is that while you were doing it or after?
Before,
after you started?
While I was applying.
So that's okay.
So when I went for my master's, so when I went for the interview for
so you didn't know what a PhD was?
I didn't know what it was. I went for my second placement for the master's, and you go and meet the person who you want to do that project with.
Oh, okay.
So I met with this professor, and he was like, "Oh, by the way, I have a PhD placement.
You're like, would you like fun.
He's like, "Would you like to apply for that?" And I was like, thinking in my head, but I don't really know what a PhD. I don't know if I said it out loud. I was like, I don't really know what a PhD is.
But go on, sign me up. Clearly, I like studying.
And he was like, I think he explained a little bit. He was just like, and you'll also get a stipend. And I was like, oh, I'll get paid.
Okay. Sign me up. Why not?
Okay, I'll consider this.
Consider it. Signed up the next hour.
Yeah. No, and then I thought about it for a day.
Yeah.
And I spoke about it with my family, and then I think my family wasn't too sure. They're like, oh, it's up to you, whatever. Yeah. And then so I thought about it, and then after more than 24 hours, I got back to him, and then apparently he was like getting really antsy, like, why is she not why is she not telling me?
Why was he dying for you to do it?
I think he
did he get some money for it as well?
Probably, yeah, like you get funding for his project, but no, I think he just thought that I'd be a good student for that project.
Yeah.
Got into that program. So like that's what I'm saying. Like how everything just the way it happened.
Everything's written, isn't it?
It was just written.
It's just written. You might think you're being guided, or you're not being guided. You don't know which way you're going, but Allah's guiding everyone.
One of my managers at work, I remember her saying like, you know, you're used to just getting everything on a plate, but sometimes you have to work for it. I was like, no.
Yeah.
I might make it sound like I get everything, but I don't. There are many things I've had to literally go the extra mile for.
Of course,
Like I've had to really work hard to, and don't forget, like just getting into a program doesn't mean you're automatically going to pass it.
Yeah, of course.
Like,
you've got to do the work.
Blood, sweat, tears that went into my PhD.
So your PhD was in what? What's the official title?
Cell biology.
Oh, okay, that sounds interesting.
But it was kind of linked to the masters in the sense that I was working in the same like research area, like the broader research area, which was like collagen and tendons. My project was to make a tendon tissue in the lab.
Really?
Yeah, I made it like a small, what they say, embryonic like.
Really?
So it's like
so like a fake one, like Dolly the sheep.
Not quite. It's kind of, in a broad sense, in an abstract sense. Yeah, it was something like that. So it was a really good project, really interesting. I enjoyed it, and then I felt like at the same time, to keep myself sane, I had to do a few other things. So then I was involved with like the society there, so I was the chair of the postgraduate society in my faculty.
Really? Oh, that's good. You really got involved, isn't it?
Yeah, and then nice. I gave like talks to all the research managers.
Are you not working at University in Manchester now? Looks like that should be the natural progression.
Long story.
You almost did, right?
After that I transitioned. I always had an interest in industry and business. I was always interested in that. So I even did some like commercialization courses at that time, because I was really interested in how to take science to the business level, and like how to do that.
You really loved your science, didn't you? And you've got you've studied lots of different types of science as well. So are you planning on taking it any further, or what are your plans?
It has come to an end.
You've had enough now, yeah?
I've had enough, but I've also like over the past 10 years, I've been also studying alternative medicine.
Oh yeah. So is that kind of what you're interested in now?
In my personal time, yes, it's a really big interest of mine. But I've not taken any formal qualifications in this, except like a bit of training here and there.
What kind of like formal qualification is there in that?
I think you have to do some like holistic practitioner courses or something.
But then it's so kind of new, isn't it? It's kind of it's things you've learnt yourself, so it's probably difficult.
It's actually not new, you know. This is actually the oldest.
Oh, actually, yeah. It's like, do you have any like Islamic medicine and stuff that you looked into?
I was quite interested
prophetic
in
medicine.
hijama. I was really interested in hijama, so I was looking into hijama courses, and I've not been able to find one yet that I trust, but only because I've done one before, which I was like, oh my gosh, this was such a waste of money, but I do I have an interest in it. So let's see where the future takes me.
Okay, so
I have too many interests. This is a problem.
Mashallah. It's good to keep your mind busy, honestly. What else are you gonna do? You know, just
I'm the sort of person that, like, if I jump onto a ship for something, then I'll just go. I'll keep going. You know, and
get really into it.
And then I'll find something else, and then once that's finished, I'll find something else, and then
at least you finish it.
At least I finish it.
Imagine if you're jumping onto the next one and finish the first one. So do you want to speak about, like, I think a lot of sisters will relate to, you know, being single and you're a little bit old, even though you look just about 25, mashallah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but you made a video. So she made a video on her channel. What was the title of it? Or what is it? Is it still up?
Yeah, let me remember what it's called. 30
go on.
plus and still single or something like that.
So something along those lines. Yeah, so 30 plus and single. Yeah, so do you want to speak about your video? You say whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah,
but
no, absolutely.
like I said, sisters will be able to relate.
So when I made this video, because obviously there's a lot of pressure to get married, but it's not all external pressure. A lot of it's internal pressure as well.
Like on your, you put pressure on yourself.
I want to get married. A lot of people are in the same boat.
Yeah.
I personally met them. I know of them. People like me have also commented on my video as well, saying, you know what, we really relate to this. Some even reached out to me on LinkedIn because they connected to me through LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah.
And they watched my video as well. So like, oh, by the way, you know, just to let you know, like, we really relate and we understand, and just, you know, don't ignore all the haters.
Of course.
But I think one thing I've learned is that, especially when a woman comes out and speaks about a matter like this, or related to marriage, like say she's married, and she talks about anything like related to marriage, or like, or she comes across as being like very strong-minded or independent, then there are always a bunch of haters that go on the comments to try and knock her down.
Yeah, it's almost like a taboo to speak about.
I think it's a touchy, my psychoanalysis tells me that it's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
So some people are just very sensitive to it, and they feel that they've had experiences in life, and this sort of topic triggers them.
Oh, maybe, you could be right.
Like sometimes, you know, the manosphere folk, one thing I realised that is that they're very woman-hating. Like, I actually went and looked at the definition of manosphere. I was like, I don't even know what manosphere
I didn't know what it was as well, but I knew it was related to that kind of mentality that Andrew Tate has brought out.
So then I looked at the comments of those people under the videos on that channel, and they were all like hateful comments. I was like, why do people like this are hateful? Because I've never met those kind of people in real life.
Is it incels? Is it interlinked with being an incel?
Yeah, so I've never met them in real life, and I was just like, I don't know.
Think you'd want to.
Yeah, I don't want to.
They're not going to announce it when they're walking on the street.
And then I was like thinking, you know, like, why would someone go on there and write these sorts of comments? And then I thought, maybe it's because they've had such bad experiences that their whole worldview is now based upon those negative life experiences.
You never know, like in school, maybe girls didn't like them, or maybe they tried to approach a girl and she, you know, she just said no, or said something negative. And
so if a guy is a type to be sort of like a player, and he will, you know, he'll be going after girls that are like that too, like him.
Yeah.
So then they will have an image of women based on that persona.
That's true.
When they're all good women like us.
Like that. I was gonna say, did anyone DM you with any marriage proposals off that? I bet they did.
I did have a few. A few, yes.
Yeah.
I had a few.
So when you get married then?
No. I looked at each one in turn, and none of them were a good match.
Okay.
Like,
at least
it wasn't. None of them were like long conversations or anything. We just one or two. I just had some email exchange, and then one or two I had a phone call. One actually asked me. It was like Zoom calls, not phone calls. Zoom calls. Yeah, one was like some uncle. Actually, two were uncles. So one was uncle saying that I helped to get marriages arranged, so I can help with that.
Okay.
And then he matched me up with someone who's like way older than me, like 12 plus years older than me.
Oh my god.
And then I was like, well, there's like quite a big age gap here. He was like, no, this guy's amazing. You won't find a better match than him.
He's a bit old. You should have said. He's just a bit old though.
And I was like, sorry, uncle. He's like, no, brother. And I was like, but how old are you? And he's like, I'm 50.
Oh my god, he was probably so offended.
He's like 50 plus.
Brother.
I was like, okay.
No one wants to be called uncle and auntie.
I was like, but you're an uncle to me, like, you know, old enough to be my dad.
Before he got an idea to hook himself up with you.
And then I was like, okay. So then I said to him, sorry, but you know, like my views, even on like medicine, are so different to that guy's. Even on that front, like even on a practical front, even if I ignore the age gap, you know, we're not gonna match.
Yeah.
So then that was no to that
but
one.
there's plenty of options. I don't know why they make it seem. I mean, obviously you're experiencing, but it doesn't mean you have to resort.
And
to
then this other uncle, he
yeah.
reached out to me and he was like, oh, you know, I'm looking for somebody. Maybe you can connect me with someone because I'm single. And then the way he was talking to me, I felt like he was actually interested in me.
The cheeky, aren't they? You think
and I was just like, I'm sorry, but you know, no one in my age group is going to be interested.
You're very blunt. I like it. Though.
I was like, I'm sorry, but you have to be realistic. You know, like this is just not going to happen.
What did
he was from here. He was from Pakistan.
Oh,
so I was like,
God,
okay, if you're from Pakistan, then maybe you'll find someone of my age there because that's realistic.
Yeah.
But I said, here you won't. Like, I'm just being
honest.
honest.
What did you say?
Like a minority. I've only ever heard of one story.
Yeah.
Only one story in Manchester, and everyone felt pity on this poor girl because she was in her 20s.
Yeah.
She was like 22, 23, and she married a 60-year-old.
No, why?
It's like 60-year-old imam or something in Manchester.
Is it because he's an imam or why?
I don't know. And everyone was like, "What's she doing? Like, stop her! Like, don't!" Like, no one approved it. It was a huge. I don't know if you heard about this.
I've never heard of this.
No, this was years back. Like,
no.
I don't know, 7-8 years ago.
Are they still together? Oh, is it
I don't know. We don't know them directly. We just heard about it.
So you don't know why?
No.
Okay. They're both from here? Like
they're both from Manchester.
Oh, that's strange. Yeah.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my gosh.
So what happened with Sundus is she made that video talking about how she's single in her 30s, and you were saying you came out of the shower, you'd been crying, and you were thinking about like family comments, and it kind of got to her. And this video got the attention of a couple of channels, male-run channels who made reaction videos. And what kind of things were they saying to you? If you want to share, if you don't want to share, it's just funny.
I had quite a few people that were sort of suggesting polygamy.
Why did they make it out like you've got no options?
So I went down to them and I thought, you know what, I'm a scientist. Let's put that scientific mind to good use.
Analyse,
So I went to them, I was like, and I literally replied to each one saying, are you married? Are you married? Are you married?
You kidding?
And they were like, yeah. It's like, okay, so all the married men are saying that I should consider being a second wife.
Because they want to make you a second wife. Okay. You did
and I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And so I thought I'll dig deep and do a deep dive into this polygamy topic, because why am I so uncomfortable with it? Why are all women uncomfortable with this? No one likes it. I'm not even married and I don't like it. I don't even want it for any woman, you know, like any other woman is married.
Of course.
So I said a deep dive.
Yeah.
You won't believe this.
Go on.
I found out that according to the Quran alone, like I'm just saying an analysis of the Quran by itself.
Yeah.
There is no encouragement of polygamy in it, and there are no clear examples of polygamy in it.
Okay. So you're just saying no encouragement. It doesn't mean it's not allowed. It's not
the other scriptures, Bible and Torah, like polygamy examples are mentioned there.
Oh, okay.
But they don't practice it.
Oh, okay.
They don't even practice it.
But
our religion, in our Quran, it's not even mentioned, and our people love it for some odd reason. So
well, we can understand that the men love it, not the women love it.
Yeah, women don't love it.
Okay. Also, so these guys made a couple of reaction videos, and then you wanted to take your video down, didn't you? Or did you? What did you want to do? Like your mum wasn't too happy, was she?
No, I didn't want to take it down or anything. But I did. I mean, so the video was not. I didn't make it because of my family comments. I made it because of some comments that came from outside my family.
Okay.
Which they didn't mean bad. They're well wishes, but I find that topic a sensitive topic. It's been a long time since I felt like, okay, I want to get married and it's not happening and it's just frustrating.
Yeah.
So I thought there are so many people like me, so let's just start this conversation. I actually genuinely wanted to just open up this topic because I feel like a lot of people are pressured to just silently suffer and just take it. But if we open up the topic, it'll make people think about it, and it'll make people think, okay, maybe there's something in our community that's not quite right. Like why because I've noticed a lot of the women that are single, they're good women. They're very good women.
Yeah, like mashallah, there's nothing wrong with you. You're very attractive, mashallah.
No, I mean,
I'm sure people are thinking like, why she's
I mean, like
single,
you know, the righteousness. Like there are many women that are righteous, like that are good women. They've not messed around. They've not like done any haram things and they're not getting married, whereas the women and men that have done those things, they're getting married. So
they're getting the experience.
so it's just like, okay, so there's obviously something wrong in our community, and I've done the analysis to know what those things are, but I'm not talked about it.
A little bit too much, I think.
I'm not talked about it just yet. But
also, you've got like an analysis coming up.
I think so. When I feel brave enough to do that one, I'll do it.
I can't wait for that one. Sundus feels like she's told us everything that she wants.
My whole life story.
Still got lots
40
to cover.
minutes.
I know.
Yeah.
It fits into 40 minutes. But what we've learned is that she likes science quite a bit. Yeah. that's one thing we've learned.
I like
science
related.
Yeah.
I love gardening. I love growing my own plants from seeds. You know, love
kind
baking,
of science.
creating.
Yeah.
I'm really
What do you
artistic.
bake? What do you bake?
Cakes.
Yeah.
I make
what's the best
cinnamon buns,
yeah.
Cinnabuns. I make those. I pretzels. I make everything. I bake.
What's like the best thing that you bake that everyone says, oh, I need to have some. This is.
I think so. I made a cake on my brother's birthday this year, and
did you?
My youngest brother, who's very selective, said that's the best cake he's ever had. So
really, mashallah.
I take that as a certification.
Oh well, yeah. If he's had good cakes, well done. Okay, so if you want to hear more from Sundus, go check out her channel. I'll link it in the description. She's going to put lots of lovely content up, aren't you?
Inshallah. Another collab with you on my channel.
Inshallah. And encourage her to put more content up and to ignore the haters and forget about all the guys who are just saying negative stuff. They're just clearly bored. Got too much time on their hands. Bless them. I hope they're not watching this. They're going to start.
No, I really enjoyed this. It's so nice. I watched your videos years back.
Yeah.
I think I even tried to contact you.
Did you? I'm the worst at being contacted.
Years back.
I don't reply to messages. I don't reply to emails.
I think I sent an email to you because I don't remember what it was, but something came up and I was like, oh wait, I want to. I remember you. This is like one of the blessings that you brought into our household, but there was a chopper that you featured.
The chopper,
the chopper. But that was the reason I contacted you. I don't remember what the reason was, but I just saw the chopper. And I was like, and every time my mum uses it, she says, oh, Sundus, I'm making duas for you. I was like, not for me.
Really? Is that why everything's going
she always says.
That's wonderful. That's what my videos are for. It makes me happy.
Like your lifestyle videos, just how you go about your day. It's just so, and they're so calming. They're so nice to watch.
That's really nice.
And I think this is why, deservingly you have a big subscriber base.
Oh, inshallah, I can make more use of it and make more people make dua for me.
Inshallah, that's one of the reasons I put my video out there so people make duas for me, and they did.
Make dua for Sundus to find a wonderful
if you go to Umrah as well, don't forget me.
Age appropriate man.
Age appropriate, please.
No one too old or too young, and someone who likes science as well, I guess. Would you need someone? Actually, would you need someone who likes science? No. Well, are you going to talk about them plants? Yeah. Baking. She can bake, guys. Yeah. She can bake. She's going to make you some cinnamon rolls.
I can do interior design. I like artistic,
I really hate the image that some of these men have, though. Like, either if you study, like, did you see one video going on? Some guy was saying women shouldn't go to university. Did you see that? Some young man,
but I know people have those sorts of thoughts.
And they think like you can't cook as well as go uni. Like, it's not.
I think people don't understand how valuable it is for a woman to be educated.
Your kids, who's going
to teach them how they're going to be raised, like simple everyday like problem solving. That's that sort of skill set you need to even when it comes to relationship between spouses. Like, if you're educated, the way that you approach any dispute is going to be a lot calmer and with understanding. I agree. And it's because you're going to have a greater depth of thinking than you would if you were not educated, because you've not trained your mind to think so well and like analyze things so
definitely.
well.
I definitely agree. And just household stuff. You're leaving it in the
like organization,
the groceries, working out the bills. If she's not educated, how's she going to work it out?
So there's like lots of things a lot of practical things, and then just other like your interpersonal relationships and how they're managed, which education actually contributes a lot to.
Oh, it definitely does, So don't shy away. Don't shy away from your women having an education. Don't be scared. I feel like some of these men are really scared for a woman to be educated.
It's bizarre because in real life, when I met people, so the things that I was seeing on my comments, but a lot of those were the first time ever situation that I've come across those sorts of thinking.
Life is not like it.
Yeah, but in real life, I've not actually come across people with that kind of thinking. So I learned a lot that, okay, well, there are people in the world that actually think like this, because I never came across it. Because obviously when I was at university, I was only surrounded with quite educated people. So I never met people except through voluntary work, just, you know, briefly, which I never got into these like in-depth conversations about. So I didn't know that there are people that think like that.
But now you know.
Now I know.
And now you're glad that you found out. But yeah, in terms of like you did make a video about halal dating. Like I said, I haven't seen it, but like marriage meetings and stuff, do you have to ask certain questions to kind of get a sense of their personality? What kind of checks do you do? I don't know why I'm going into this, but I just find it interesting. Go on.
No, I think it's so important to ask those questions. I don't shy away from them. So I will ask all the important questions, like, do they want to have children? What do they see their future as? Like, what are their expectations in a marriage? Like, what do they expect their wife to do? What do they expect themselves to do? What responsibilities do they want to have? What sort of life do they want to lead? What are their goals in life? Where do they want to? Because I really value someone highly if they are charitable and if they have an ambitious mindset where they want to make the best impact that they can with their lives.
Of course,
But a lot of people don't think like that. You know, a lot of people are like here and now, just live day by day, and that doesn't align with my way of
so you
being.
Just wouldn't
so I find that harder. Exactly, because like I'm sort of person who's thinking, okay, how can I make a difference here? How can I make a difference there? How can I be there for my family, for my I have to look after myself too, but also, you know, I need to think about the community. I need to think about the education that I have and the best use that I can put forward with that education.
What's our purpose then, isn't it? That's, you know, you've been given all these skills and talents.
The bottom line is that I'm looking for someone who's similar to myself, and I'm looking for someone who has a kind of beautiful personality inside out, like a beautiful heart. Beautiful heart. Because if someone has a beautiful soul and a beautiful heart and a beautiful mind, then you have the entire package. That's the entire package.
Oh yeah. So you're saying that's more important for you than the looks, kind of?
Oh yeah, like it because that can. I've definitely considered people that my friends have thought, you know, like, what are you thinking on this? But but this person is interesting, or there's something about them, you know, and so consider that person. Obviously, it didn't work out. But I have those conversations with people. I give a chance, you know. I talk to people, obviously the halal way, over a phone call or in a meeting in public. I'll do that, and then, but I never like drag it on.
Oh yeah,
I know
that's
early.
good,
I know early, and I have a strong intuition. And I have this tawakkul in Allah, so I ask for Allah's guidance, and I find out very quickly. The most that it's ever taken me is like 6 weeks.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's really good.
No, but I know, but most of the time, like 99% of the time, I know in the first call or two. That if this person's not much for me, like, because there are these huge red flags or like huge differences, you know, that I see practical differences.
That's good that you're not wasting your time.
Like, for example, if I were to give some examples, like there was one person who was just going to start university. This was years ago, but like just going to start at like age 30. And I was finishing my PhD. So I was like, okay, practically this is not going to work. It's not going. So like, you know, there are these sorts of lots of practical differences, and I always speak to my friends. So I've never been one to like keep it all to myself. If I'm considering anybody, I discuss it with my family, my brother, my mom. Sometimes I can be a bit uncertain, and then I think, well, I'm not sure if I'm being too cautious, or if I'm taking into account all the different, like the way that you can perceive this in the right way, if I'm thinking about things the right way. So then I'll ask other people, and then they will give me their advice. They'll say, okay, this point that you're making, this is important, but that point maybe not so important.
That's really good. Like, they keep you in check.
Exactly.
Are your friends, most of them are married?
All of them are married.
All of them are married. And they're waiting to wear
even the younger ones are married now. I have one friend who's like 23. She's not married yet, but I have
You plan on beating her?
Beating her. Allah knows. I wish the best for her as well. You know, like, I'm always happy to hear the news that someone's marrying someone they want to marry. Okay.
Is it on your mind a lot, or is it just something at the back of your head?
It's on my mind a lot, but when I start to work and focus on a particular cause, then I'm not thinking about it so much. Like,
so what's your advice for other women who are in this, or even men in this situation? It's on their mind a lot. Like, what's your advice? How do you cope? Like you said, you keep yourself busy.
I think the best thing to do is to keep growing yourself, keep working on yourself, and making yourself the person that you want to attract.
Of course.
Like, that's what I've always thought from a very young age. Like, I thought, okay, I want to become the person that I want. so that, you know, one day, inshallah, when you meet that person, you align like immediately.
Of course, yeah.
So yeah, I think that's probably the number one advice, that just grow yourself into a person that you can feel proud of. And it takes work. Like I've had to learn how to overcome like feelings of jealousy or envy.
Oh my god, yeah, that must be a big one actually.
And that's like a daily struggle. Like not just with that in particular, but just other things as well. Like you might feel easily angered, you might feel like you're short-tempered, or there might be something that triggers you, and you like your reaction can be you might be overreactive. So then learning how to temper all of those emotions and manage them.
So it seems like you're quite emotionally intelligent with all the situation that you've been through, like
alhamdulillah, because of the work that I'm doing on myself. I'm like constantly trying to become a better person.
Let's hope your husband to be is working on himself while you're working.
Inshallah, there'll be a lot of work to do.
So inshallah, I pray for you that you find a wonderful husband. Inshallah, I mean, and if you're interested, no, I'm just.
We agreed not to do that.
I know, I cut it out. I'm messing about.
No, you don't have to cut it out. They're probably laughing with us.
I know, I guess that's it then. It was lovely chatting with you, Sundars.
It's lovely speaking with you too.
Her mum, bless her, is making eggs.
We'll go enjoy those now.
So we'll have a bit of breakfast. But definitely do subscribe to Sundars, and any questions and advice you want in terms of like marriage related stuff, ask Sundars, because obviously she's got a lot of experience in like the ways that you're looking for a husband. You do talk about apps. Is there anything else that you're doing?
I suggest apps only because, you know, a lot of people don't have any other means to meet somebody. It's really not the best way.
I think another time we need to talk about like dating app nightmares. I bet you've had some, have you? No?
Many.
Yeah. Really? I'd love, those are the interesting stories that I'd like to hear. Or share them on your channel. If you feel brave enough. But anyway, that's it really. So subscribe to Sundars and encourage her to continue, and I guess, you know, a sisterhood is about giving each other words of encouragement and being there for each other. And it's nice when people can watch someone on YouTube or online that they can relate to. It's, you know, it really means a lot, doesn't it, for the women who are going through this situation.
And mashallah, like, you are so down to earth and so humble, and you have such a massive subscriber base. Like, after I met you, I went back and checked on your channel, like how many subscribers, and I was like, oh my gosh, your channel has grown so much.
You know, I think a lot of it grew with like the pregnancies. I don't know if it just attracts a lot of
but the point is that mashallah, you have a lot of subscribers, you have a lot of followers, a lot of fans, mashallah. But you're so down to earth, you're so humble.
Thank you so much.
And you
I feel really humble when you tell me that.
You kept that beautiful persona that you have in your,
you're very kind.
Like some people, when they become, when they get like a certain level of attention, they start to, their personality changes.
I don't know
sometimes
why.
not for the better.
I know.
But yours hasn't.
Alhamdulillah, if that's the case.
It is the case.
You're very kind.
I don't give compliments for free, you deserve it.
Really? Oh, thanks. I'll take it then. I didn't know that. But anyway, Jazakallah, thank you so much for watching. I really enjoyed this. Take care. Salam. Bye. Do you want to say bye?
Okay, thank you so much. See you soon. Assalamu alaikum.